Good afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I am Anuluakpo Ido. The federal government has moved to end the practice of carrying electricity subsidy cost alone, announcing a framework that will spread the burden across federal, state, and local government from 2026. The Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Tanimu Yakubu, disclosed this in Abuja during the training and sensitization workshop for ministries, departments, and agencies on the 2026 post-budget preparation process using the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System Budget Preparation Subsystem. Yakubu said President Bola Tinubu had directed that electricity subsidy costs be made explicit, tracked, and fairly shared across tiers of government, warning that the current approach creates hidden liabilities and recurring crises in the power market. He added that the federal government would no longer treat electricity subsidies as an open-ended obligation borne solely by the center. The federal government has launched a free nationwide training program for 10 million Nigerians on financial inclusion and literacy through the Presidential Committee on Economic and Financial Inclusion chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. According to the Office of the Vice President, it is designed to equip Nigerians, particularly women and youth, with essential financial skills, investment, knowledge, and digital competencies for sustainable wealth creation. The Vice President said the signing of the MOU between the federal government and 6 of Nigeria's foremost professional bodies was more than a formal agreement, adding that Nigeria could reap bountifully from its demographic dividend only if young Nigerians and women are equipped with the skills and ethical grounding needed for rapidly advancing digital economy. Moving on, Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetogun has said the peacekeeping efforts of the Nigeria Police Force will henceforth focus on specialized capabilities. Egbetogun spoke against the backdrop of modern peace operations becoming increasingly complex due to asymmetric threat, violent extremism, transnational organized crime, and digital insecurity at a two-day lecture organized in collaboration with the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. In his keynote address, Egbetogun said focus will be on counterterrorism, cybercrime investigation, and intelligence-led policing in line with the United Nations and African Union reforms. The police chief said effective peacekeeping policing must reflect legitimacy, discipline, and accountability both domestically and internationally, stressing that international confidence in Nigerian police officers deployed on peace missions depend on reforms at home. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has promised to give free application documents to persons with disabilities registering for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. The board announced the bulletin shared by its public communication advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, in Abuja, that registration for the examination started on January 26 and will end on February 28. The board explained that the free UTME documents were part of efforts aimed at giving equal opportunities to all categories of candidates with disabilities who are desirous of pursuing their dreams of higher education. Justice Emmanuel Sublim of the National Industrial Court has issued an interim order restraining the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Trade Union Congress, TUC, and 3 others from embarking on any form of industrial action or protest. Reading on an ex parte application filed by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and the FCT administration, Justice Sublim granted an interim order restraining the 1st to 5th respondents and their privies or agents from embarking on strike pending the hearing of the motion and notice. Meanwhile, counsel to the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Ogu Onoja, explained that the court also ordered the 5th to 9th defendants who are security agents to ensure no breakdown of law and order. The court subsequently adjourned until 10th February for hearing. And also the foreign scene, where Morocco has evacuated more than 50,000 people, nearly half of the population of northwestern city of Sar El Kabir, as flooding driven by weeks of heavy rain threatened to inundate the city. State media reported that authorities set up shelters and temporary camps and barred entry into Kar El Kabir as rising water levels in the Lucas River spread across several neighborhoods. Officials said the floods were partly triggered by water release from nearby Oud Magazine Dam, which had reached full capacity. Consequently, the army said it has deployed rescue units, trucks, equipment, and medics to support evacuation from the city. Still on the foreign scene, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says talks with the United States should move forward if they serve Iran's national interests and remain free from threats or unreasonable demands. In a post on X, Pezeshkian said diplomacy remains an option provided negotiations are fair and conducted in a respectful atmosphere. He said he has directed Iran's foreign minister to begin laying the groundwork for negotiations that are equitable and balanced. However, Pezeshkian stressed that Iran will not engage under pressure or coercion, but in dialogues that assures protection of Iran's national interest. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from revoking legal protections for more than 350,000 Haitians in the United States, preventing their potential deportation to a country that has been ravaged by gang violence. Supreme District Judge Anna Reyes in Washington, D.C., who was appointed by Democratic former President Joe Biden, halted the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's effort to terminate Haiti's temporary protected status in a class action lawsuit brought by Haitians. Reyes said in the ruling that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem likely violated the procedures required to terminate the protected status of Haitian immigrants in the United States, as well as the U.S. Constitution's Fifth Amendment guarantee of equal protection under the law. Consequently, Homeland Department spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin indicated that in a social media post that the ruling would be appealed. And now talking sports, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has said Russia's ban from football should definitely be lifted. Recall that the country has been banned since its invasion of Ukraine in 2022, but the International Olympic Committee has now recommended that international sports federations admit Russian teams to compete at the youth level. Reacting to the development, Infantino in an interview stated that the decision to suspend the Russians from the competition has achieved nothing and has only generated more disappointment and hatred. And that's about it. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and X at Dominion Cast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. I am Anu Luakbo Ido. Thank you for watching.